Okay, I'm just going to go back to create a sum and product one more time. You create your two brackets, and you always have an x here. You wouldn't have a 2x or a 3x. In here, you'd go 4, maybe 3, and then you would put your signs in here and expand this out. Expand it, and you can create your question. That's for sum and products. Okay? For example, for decomposition, you'd have to put numbers in here. You couldn't just put x. 2x plus maybe 1 something small, 3x minus 2, or you can put 2x minus 2, and then you expand that. Okay, the difference in these two, when you create them, the difference is this one begins with just an x, and this has numbers in the front. Okay, as long as one of these has a number in front of the x. If the other one's just x minus 2, it would still work as a decomposition. Okay, so for example, if you had x plus 7 and you did 2x minus 1, as long as one of them has a number here and the other one could be x, this would still, when you expand it, would still be a decomposition question. Now, the other ones, difference of squares. Let's do that one. How do you create that? Okay, difference of squares. Well, you have to have those numbers memorized. 1, 3, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. I missed 4. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. So if you have those numbers for difference of squares, you're going to put x squared here, put a minus here. In the front, you can put 9. And in the back, well, 10 times 10 is 100. And you're done. So you just have to, like 3 squared there and 10 squared there. And there's your question. And this would equal 0. Okay, look, quickly, these are very easy to make. Watch this. Okay, 2 times 2, 4x squared. 11 times 11, minus 121 equal to 0. Okay, and you're done. Now, if you wanted to add a common factor, you can maybe multiply that by minus 3, and you can make the question harder. Minus 12x squared. Okay, and then minus 3 would be positive 363 equals 0. So this could be your question. Okay, that could be your question. And now how do you solve it? So I'll show you how to solve it. I just multiply that top one by 3. So now you do the opposite. So again, expanding is the opposite of factoring. So you take out a negative 3, and you're left with 4x squared, okay, minus 121, because you divide by 3, equal to 0. And how do you solve it? Minus, and you put 2x plus 121. Okay, we'll extend the page here, and you get 2x minus 11, not 121, because the square root of 121 is 11, and minus 11 equals 0, and then each bracket equals to 0, and then you could solve it. Okay, so you just have to create the question, and later on you'll have to solve it. I won't continue here, but over here, there's your question. Okay, a perfect square. How do you create it? Here's what you do. Okay, you start off with maybe 9x squared here. Over here, let's use some big number that you might not use, 144. 12 times 12 is 144. Okay, that's 12 times 12. Okay, 144. Okay, in here you can either put a plus or a minus, so I'll put a minus. So I've almost created it here. Okay, in the middle now. Okay, this is how you get the middle. You take the square root of that, 3, times the square root of that, 12, times 2. Always times 2. So to get the middle here, you get 36. 36 times 2 is 72x plus that, and I've created one. Okay, let's try another one, and that equals 0. I'll do another perfect square. So let's 11 times 11. I seem to like that. I'll put 121x squared. Guess what? I'll put a 1 at the end here. Okay, so 11 times 11. Okay, times, that's 121. Then 1 times 2. So that's just the square root. So 11, you can put plus or minus here. So I'll put plus 22x plus 1 equals 0. And then you can solve it. I'll do one more to show you. One more. Okay, I guess I like doing these. So 10 times 10 will do. 10 times 10, we'll put 100x squared. Okay, and over here we'll put 7 times 7, 49. Okay, so 100x squared plus 49. So that's like 10. 10 times 10. 7 times 7 is 49. Times 2. Always times 2. 10 times 7 is 70. Times is 100. And let's see, 70, 140. Okay, so right here, I put minus or plus. It doesn't matter. Minus 140x. Okay, and at the end, I put plus 49. I always put the plus there. So let's see. Let's solve that. So I'll just extend the page down here. 100x squared, okay, minus 140 x minus 49 equals 0. If I solve that, it's plus 49. It's 10x plus 7 squared equals 0. And then the one bracket, 10x plus 7 equals 0. We rearrange it. 10x is negative 7 over 10. Sorry, over 10 here, over 10 there. So our answer is negative 7 over 10. Okay, next. And we only have one answer for that. Next, the quadratic formula. So how do you create it? Well, you can randomly just pick numbers. 2x squared minus 5x plus 7 equals 0. Okay? And then there's 1. So you can just randomly pick 2, negative 5, and 7 and see how it works. Now, if you make these too big, so if you make this really large, that really large, and this one small, you're going to get a negative number. So if you were to put 10x squared minus 2x plus 12 equal to 0, this one will have no answer. If this number is very large and this number is large, you won't get an answer here. If you make the middle number large and the other two small, you'll get two answers. So again, if you make, for example, if you make 2x squared and you make this like minus 20x plus 4 equal to 0, you will get an answer. Okay, if you make the middle number larger than the other two, because when you subtract, it'll just work that way. Okay. Now, how do you make the one answer for the quadratic formula? Again, for the quadratic formula, we're looking at quadratic one answer. Well, you have to create a perfect square. Okay, and I showed that up there. So you have to create a question that's a perfect square. So maybe you put 4x squared here, maybe 25 at the end. Okay, so it has to be a perfect square, and in the middle you can put plus 2 times 5, 10x. Okay, you put 9x squared and put a 1 at the end, and then you have to find the middle term. To find that, it's 2 times 5 times 2. Okay, 2 times 5, whoops, this should have been 20 in the middle, not 10. So 2 times 5 is 10, times 2 is 20, so it should have been 20. So you have to create a perfect square and make it equal to 0 for the quadratic formula to get one answer. Finally, creative questions are up to you how you create them. Hopefully this helps. If you have any more questions, you can ask, and I can maybe post another video to help you out. Okay, thanks, and good luck with that quiz.